Russian President Vladimir Putin issued a strong rebuttal on Wednesday, September 3, after German Chancellor Friedrich Merz called him perhaps the most serious war criminal of our time. Speaking before journalists, Putin dismissed the charge, describing it as an unsuccessful attempt not just by Merz personally but by the West collectively to deflect responsibility for what he called the tragedy unfolding in Ukraine. According to Putin, this effort to place all blame on Russia ignores the deeper roots of the crisis, which he traced back to 2014. He reminded reporters that in February of that year, ministers from 3 European countries traveled to Kyiv and signed an agreement designed to bridge the divide between then-President Viktor Yanukovych and the political opposition. That deal, he said, was intended to ensure that disputes of a political nature would be resolved within Ukraine's constitutional and legal framework, without violence or upheaval. Yet, within days, a bloody coup toppled Yanukovych, and, Putin argued, none of the European guarantors made any effort to return the situation to a lawful path. Putin continued by pointing to what followed, the rapid escalation in Crimea and the decision by the post-coup government in Kyiv to deploy armored vehicles and aircraft against civilians in regions that refuse to recognize the change in power. He stressed that Russia consistently pushed for a negotiated solution, particularly through the Minsk agreements, but that Ukraine ultimately rejected those accords in public, effectively closing the door on a peaceful path forward. In Putin's view, these actions demonstrated a disregard for Russia's core security interests and created the conditions that led directly to today's war. If someone thinks that it is possible to treat the people of our country so carelessly, he warned, they should know that we will never allow such things, when Russia weakly watches the events happening around it and does not react in any way. By shifting the focus back to Europe's role in 2014 and Ukraine's refusal to compromise, Putin portrayed Russia not as the aggressor but as a state defending itself against Western negligence and betrayal. The fierce exchange of words between Putin and Chancellor Merz underscores the depth of mistrust between Moscow and Berlin, and highlights how questions of blame, legality, and legitimacy remain at the heart of the international battle over Ukraine's future.